Good morning. A boy from Greater Manchester who went missing from the Costa del Sol 6 years ago has been found in France, prosecutors say. 6 years after his kidnapping during a holiday, Alex Batty, who was aged 11 at the time, was found in Revel on Wednesday. The public prosecutor of Toulouse confirmed yesterday that Alex, now aged 17, handed himself into French police. Investigators believe he had escaped from a rural spiritual community in the foothills of the Pyrenees, mainly living in caravans and tents. Alex was on holiday in Marbella with his mother, Melanie, then 37, and grandfather David, who was 58 at the time. Both were prohibited from being with the boy at the time due to domestic difficulties. They were due to return from their trip after 2 weeks but never did. At the time of Alex's disappearance 6 years ago, Greater Manchester Police said extensive inquiries led them to believe that Alex, his mother and grandfather left Benavis and may have tried to head to Melilla in Morocco from the port of Malaga. The dire humanitarian situation in Gaza is prompting more European Union countries to support the idea of a humanitarian ceasefire in the war between Israel and Hamas. Ireland's Prime Minister Leo Varadkar yesterday said the EU is losing its credibility because of lack of a strong position on the war. Speaking at the start of an EU summit in Brussels, focusing more on Ukraine, Varadkar said the EU should condemn terrorism perpetrated by Hamas, but also call for justice for the Palestinian people. Spain's socialist leader Pedro Sanchez backed his Irish colleague. Europe has to speak out in a clear, strong, firm and unified voice, he said. The EU's top diplomat, Josep Borrell, repeated the need for the two-state solution, which will create an independent Palestinian state, which is currently opposed by the Israeli government. The PSOE filed a lawsuit on Wednesday against the leader of the far-right Vox party over comments suggesting Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez would meet a dictator's end and be strung up by his feet. In its legal complaint, Sanchez's party accused Vox's leader, Santiago Abascal, of inciting hatred and even violence for remarks in a weekend interview. His remarks prompted a furious backlash from Sanchez and his ministers. The lawsuit accuses Abascal of incitement to hatred. Spain is taking a historic step forward in sustainable energy. In 2023, more than half of its electricity will come from renewable sources for the first time. This is due to a rapid expansion of new green energy plants. The electricity sector has produced a record amount of almost 123,300 gigawatt hours to date. Renewable sources now account for 50.2% of the total electricity production. This exceeds nuclear, gas and coal-fired power stations. Wind energy will be the main source of electricity production this year and supplies some 23.3% of the total. That's the latest from TRE. I'm Bob James.